Hello and welcome to Road Rush Nation. I'm Terry, your host here, and thank you so much for stopping by and checking out our channel. This week, we're going to talk about riding in the extreme heat. It's that time of year you're planning your trips, and many of us are looking at making that dream trip out to the Southwest, someplace where it's extremely hot. And a lot of people will tell you, don't plan it, don't do it. You're going to burst into flames if you ride out. Well, I wanted to give you some tips. We've done it. I've lived in the Mojave Desert. I've lived on the edge of Death Valley and know how to compensate for that heat. And I just want to give you guys some advice and some tips on how to stay cool and things to think about if you're going to be out in the desert or any place really that's got the extreme heat. One of my all-time favorite moto vloggers is Million Dollar Bogan out of Australia. If you ever get to see his videos, he's hilarious, but he's not for the weak at heart. He does some crazy things on a Harley. But I had recently watched one of his videos of him and his girlfriend V going through the outback in the extreme heat, and some of the decisions he made on what to wear and how to handle the heat just made me cringe. Now, don't be bashing him because he is hilariously funny. Without me saying anything else, let's take a quick look at a snippet from that adventure that just made me cringe. And you look and see what you think might have been some better decisions on their part.
You okay? You okay? You gonna be sick? Fuck.
Take a look at what he's wearing. First of all, he's wearing shorts and she's wearing a short skirt. Two of the worst things you can do. You want to make sure you're wearing long pants and have your legs covered. And the reason is not just from the heat from the bike, but the sun. Think of yourself as being baked out in the sun for hours. The other thing he does is they're both wearing short sleeve shirts or no shirts at all. You know, heat makes you think if I take off more, that's more protection. Well, that's no. You really want to have something cover your arms as much as possible because it keeps you from getting the heat stroke. So those were just a couple things. So let's talk about protecting yourself with all that sun. What you really want to do is cover up as much as possible. With the heat, you usually want to dress lighter. You know, you're wearing a light t-shirt, you're going to wear a tank top, and that's the worst thing you can do if you're going to be out in the sun for hours. Take a look at people that work in the sun, like landscapers. They're always covered up because the sun beating on you constantly will cause heat exhaustion. And you saw in the clip from Million Dollar Bogan, that's what happened to his girlfriend, V, when she became nauseated. And that's one step closer to heat stroke, which is really deadly, and we don't want that. So let me tell you about what I do and what Aaron does to prevent that. We want to keep ourselves covered. So one of the things that we will do is we have bought, and Harley puts these out, or had them out, they're a little harder to find now because Harley's changed their manufacturing, is their performance line. Now this is the High Vis, and you'll see it's got long sleeves, but what's great is these are moisture wicking, okay? So as you're riding along and you're sweating, this is letting the air flow through and getting you a little cooler. Now, this is long sleeve. The only bad thing about that is that when you get to wherever you're going to be, you've got this long sleeve shirt on, and maybe you don't want that. You'd like to be a little more relaxed and have a t-shirt and a tank. So what I do, now here's the bad thing, here's my disclaimer, is I used to wear a mesh jacket all the time. And they're great, they've got the padding in it, you know, you've got your elbow and all your armor. But the thing I didn't like is I really got hot in them. Even though it lets some of the air through, wherever those armors are, no air gets through. If you want to wear something protective, get a mesh jacket, get yourself an armor. But one of the things I do is I'll wear a t-shirt, maybe a tank top. Then comes the real kicker. Now, this next item you could wear with that underneath that mesh jacket, and it will be tremendous and to keep you cooler. And what it is, it's called a cooling vest. Now, this one's a Harley one. They're fantastic. And what this does, here's the secret, is you take this and it's got material inside that will hold water. You take this, you dunk it in water, and you don't want to wring it out. You want to kind of get a lot of the water off because you don't want to be dripping with water. But sometimes you do, and I've done that, is you put this on. So I would like wear this shirt, put this on, and boy, that moisture, and it works like air conditioning because as you're riding along and you have the airflow through, that will hit the cold, will hit the water. It will help your body core stay cooler. So it's called a cooling vest. There's all kinds of them out there you can check. Look to buy them in off season because you can get them a lot cheaper. They can be kind of pricey. There's other ones out there. Doesn't matter. Just grab one. So the great thing is as you make a stop, say it's at a gas station, take it. You know, you're wearing it. Maybe it dries out. They usually last about 3 hours, depends on the environment, you know, how fast you're going, the heat and so on. But when you stop, take it with you into the restroom. If you're at a Harley shop, take it in the bathroom, put it in the sink. I do this all the time. Get it all wet, put that bad boy back on. You will stay so cool. It is amazing. We were out in the Southwest a few years ago, and I was the only one that had one. And everybody else was, I don't want one of those, you know, that's kind of wimpy. Okay, fine, that's your choice. But when they'd come up to me and it's like in triple digits, we were in Vegas, and it was triple digits, and they come up and slap me on the back and they're all like, you're still cold. Yup, 115 degrees, and I was still pretty dang cool because of that. It keeps you from, your body core from getting crazy hot. So get yourself a cooling vest. Now the next thing I do on top of that cooling vest is I will be wearing, and this is by Harley, is one of their performance shirts, and this is a moisture wicking shirt. Now this one is a long sleeve because you want your arm covered. So this is long sleeve. You can roll up the sleeves. It's got, you know, the buttons, nice little collar. But this is, and you'll see these tags where it says wicking, that's what you're looking for. You're looking for a wicking shirt. This is fantastic to wear. They're a little pricey. They're sometimes hard to find because it just depends on the manufacturer and such. And they, like I said, this is a Harley one, but you can get, you can get other brands of these. If you go to any of your outdoor sporting goods places like Bass Pro Shops or Cabela's, go into the fishing section. You will find these shirts, and they come in all different colors, okay? But they're usually in the fishing section. Look for the moisture wicking shirts. Now, one thing I do recommend is this one has regular buttons. Try to find ones with snaps, and the reason I say that, because I've got an array of these. The ones with the snaps are easier as you're riding down the road to be able to, if you need to close a button or you want to open it up a little bit, you can just snap them rather than trying to button them. They make it a lot easier as you're riding down the road. So like I said, I will have it. Usually it's a tank top or a t-shirt, my cooling vest, and then this is what I ride with. It makes it so much more comfortable as you're going down the road. So think about it. Get yourself a cooling vest. Let's talk too about your face, okay? You're going to get wind blown. You are going to have like a heater blowing at your face. You're trucking along the highways. You're at 70, 80 miles an hour. So You want to know what that's going to feel like? Take your wife or your girlfriend's hair dryer, turn it on high, and stick it on your face and hold it for how many hours you're going to be out there. That's about what it's going to feel like. Your face is going to get burnt. It's going to be fried. So one of the things I highly recommend you keep on your bike, and you may have a full face helmet, you don't have to worry about it quite so much, but if you're wearing a half helmet, even if you're wearing no helmet, get yourself one of these neck protectors. And they're the tubes that you'll see these all over the place, but get the lightweight ones, okay? The reason I say to do that is you'll be able to put this up over your face. It will protect your nose. It will protect your mouth from being blown, dry, hot, cracked. You don't want any of that. There's chapstick and all that stuff you can use for your lips, but really get yourself one of these. These are like a couple bucks. You'll see them advertised on Facebook and other places where you can just pick them up pretty dang cheap. Get yourself a few of them. I always keep a few on my bike because somebody else needs it. They're great to have just around the house, and they have all different styles. You saw that one was camouflage. I mean, I got one with skulls. You can have whatever you want. So that will protect your nose and your face from being windburn. So let's talk sunscreen now. Of course, you're going to put some sunscreen on, right? You want to keep yourself protected. But I want you to think about sunscreen as not just being sunscreen. I want you to think about it being a windscreen preventing you from being windburned. When you put on a liquid-based sunscreen and you put it on your face, where does it go? Right in your eyes. And you surely don't want to have eye issues while you're riding. You have that sweat and it rolls into with the sunscreen and it rolls into your eyes and it's burning. No good. Let me show you what I recommend, which is the Neutrogena. And this is a solid-based ultra-sheer windscreen, or sunscreen, excuse me, at 70. And I say windscreen because it's a solid. See that? Okay, it's not a deodorant. It is a solid to go on your face. And you put this on your nose, you put this on your cheeks and put it everywhere. It does not melt on your face and get into your eyes like the normal sunscreen does. The only bad thing is, this is fantastic. We always keep it on the bikes. The only bad thing is, when it's really hot out and you leave it on your bike for a while, it begins to melt. So keep it in your cooler so it stays in its solid format, because this stuff is great to use. I recommend it even around the house and around the family every day of the week. So I want to share a tip with planning your trip. Think about planning your days by hours, not by miles. And what I mean by that is the heat will determine how far you should really ride safely to where the heat is not affecting you. So if you're in an area and you go, hey, we have the heat of the day is maybe at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, you want to be done with your riding before that because it will really affect you. So plan a little early. Also, one tip I do have for you is don't plan out your hotel rooms. And you're probably going, oh my God, what are you saying? You got to make sure you got reservations. I have a tip for you. Stop your riding, at least take a break between noon and 1. Okay, and then check with everybody on how they're feeling for the ride. And then what you can do is say, hey, how much farther do you guys feel like you want to ride for today? At that point, pull out your phone, get on the map, decide what area you guys are going to stop in. And what you do is you plan to get a hotel in that area. You'll guarantee yourself a room if you make the reservation by noon, 1 o'clock. Because in the Southwest, you'll see the hotels will fill up by 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon and they're done. So stop 12, 1 o'clock, get with your group, say how much farther do you want to go, plot out someplace, maybe it's Kingman, Arizona, and you say we're getting a hotel room there. You'll find out that you can get a hotel reservation very easy the same day, because most of those stops are just layover stops for folks, and you'll be able to stay someplace. Don't worry about it. You can time yourself out, take your breaks as you need them, and get to your destination without a worry of having a hotel room. Thanks so much for stopping by and hanging out with us today. I hope the tips will help you while you plan your big trip. Don't forget, give us a like, hit that subscribe button. It's free to join the nation, and check us out next week and see what we've got to offer. Stay safe, ride safe. Don't forget, life's too short, so let's go ride.